up, my little Tattle Tells? Yo, come in, shut the door, pour yourself a cup of tea. We are on Sussex watch. You guys, what am I talking about? The Sussex are expected to arrive in the UK today. We have to bring you up to date. I can't wait to see what Meghan's wearing. But you know what the funny thing is? The UK media is like, oh my God, the Sussexes are here. We're waiting for a Sussex bomb. But let me tell y'all, they're hoping and praying that Meghan and Harry give them a show, give them a look, give them something, because guess what? The media has been starving under Will and Kate. Again. We have to keep this all in, what do you call it? Let's actually look at this totally, right? In totality. So the Sussex are expected to land. They are going to have their kids in tow. Now, the palace aides reportedly are going crazy because the Sussex will not actually share what their plans are. At the same time, Harry is back in town with his wife because the security he demanded, they are finally getting. Now, here's the thing. The Sussex said, they told the Sussex originally, absolutely, you can get security while you're doing official events. But if it's anything dealing with private, you're on your own. Now, to Harry and Meghan, of course, that was ridiculous because they were getting death threats. They were getting all this stuff. That means for all the people in the back that seem to act like, oh, what's the big deal? That when they're asleep in Frogmore Cottage, they have no Secret Service. They have no security. The only security they were allowed to have was their private security, and their private securities were not even allowed to carry firearms. Now, listen. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. Okay, you know I love being a conspiracy theorist. But you think about what actually happened to Diana, what happened to Harry's mom. Of course, it's it's startling. And I do think that there are enough, judging by the way these trolls are online and the way they're so unhinged and the way Meghan even breathes and they're like, oh my God, ah! Right? I can see why they're like, we don't want to see what the real life equivalent of these unhinged trolls that literally were in the comments bullying disabled veterans, bullying anybody that cares, literally turning the Texas massacre that Meghan paid her respects to into something about them. We don't want to see the real life equivalent of what that is, because they will show up at the door. Well, magically, it looks like they actually got their wish, and security was cleared so quickly. Now, hold on. I'm going somewhere with this because this is actually really, really funny. Security got cleared, but the royals think that they put Harry and Meghan in a little box and one they can't be removed from. What is that, right? So get this. They now have security at public events, which I guess they'd have to, but they now have security, but only in the confines of their house, which is Frogmore Cottage. The royals think that they got like this, put you in a little block, you can't move anywhere, except for the fact that they just shot their own selves in the foot. Let's actually talk turkey. The press love Harry and Meghan. They love to hate them. They love to love them. Harry and Meghan are international superstars, and Meghan can drop a cup of tea. Harry can leave biscuit crumbs on the floor, and it will be a million think pieces written about it. Harry and Meghan are great for business. The UK media has figured out that they cannot make money off of stories about Will and Kate because they're too boring. Now, they could make money from Will and Kate talking about their marriage issues, talking about divorce, talking about their dysfunction. However, William, it's alleged, sold Harry and Meghan to them so they would leave them and Kate alone. The press is salivating for something that will move copies, that will get clicks, that will do all this, right? Okay, so that's going on. The press really want Harry and Meghan to do something. The royals, on the other hand, or the men in gray, are so afraid that Harry and Meghan are going to steal the show. And I don't even think they're afraid. I think they're actually realistic. Harry and Meghan will steal the show, but not because they're out there being flashy and flamboyant, but because they're the only ones with star power. But even if they were flashy and flamboyant, who cares? At this point, they deserve everything they're getting, because even the queen that everybody seems to love so much has reminded us that she isn't ish. The fact that she is throwing her weight around and trying to get Andrew forgiven. They even had the archdiocese, I believe, of the church come and say, everybody needs to be forgiven. We need to move on. Which one? Why would the church do that? Especially considering you guys have your own problem with... Yeah, I'm not going to say because I don't want the algorithm to get me, but you guys have your own problem with that. But secondly, who's the head of the church? The queen is. The Queen looks like she put them up because she wants Harry and Meghan to be there, fine, but you also want Andrew. Again, when the Queen is using her unbridled inherited power for good, it's a great thing. But that's the problem with unbridled inherited power, right? Or any unbridled power, whether you earned it or not. Yeah, you get to use it for bad too. You're literally rehabbing Andrew's image. But you know what? Forget about that, right? We'll have a different story about that. Let's get back to how the royals shot themselves in the foot. Okay, so the news needs Harry and Meghan. William and Kate are too boring right now. They have agreed not to sink too much into their budding problems. I don't think that's going to last too long, but that's what they've agreed. Cut to Harry and Meghan. The royals made a thing saying, well, guess what? When you come around, you're only having security here at work and only in your house. If you go out in any personal capacity, you're on your own. They think that they put Harry and Meghan in a box so that they can't go out and do separate events and go see around town. Because for one, they won't have any security, right? And for two, if they do, people can be like, well, what happened to that lawsuit? You must not feel safe because you go out with security anyway. So what's really going on? So the royals are like, yes. However, they shot themselves in the foot for 3 reasons. 1, Harry and Meghan know their star power, and they're not about to sprinkle the whole fairy dust, or how they like to call it, on the UK media. They're not. There is power in the way they choose to show themselves, the events they choose to go to. They're not like William and Top Gun premiere just to make people realize they're there. When they show up, it is an act of power. You get a big heat score, and they know this. They know where their power lies, right? Okay, so they don't want to be out there anyway. 2, by confining them into the cottage, right? You not only give them low-key what they wanted. We don't want to give the Jubilee any attention. We're just coming, right? With Archie, with Lilibet. We'll talk about what they're coming for. We're coming to see my grandmother before she passes away, to spend time and to give her her wish, because that's Harry's grandmother. Apparently, whatever she is, he loves her, right? She did something right with him. He loves her, and she is giving the grandmother a wish. And also, we don't know how much longer the Queen's going to be there. And of course, you want them to meet all your children before they pass away. So Harry and Meghan want to be in that cottage anyway. The royals, by thinking they put them in a box, were so stupid, because you took away the media's cash cow. And once the media sees that Harry and Meghan isn't like Fergie 2.0 that's trying to sneak out the window and write books and doing all this stuff, once the media sees that Harry and Meghan was like, we don't want you guys to have pictures of us. We don't want y'all to make money off of us. We do not want a penny in your bank accounts that came from our pictures. Once the media sees that the royals have basically put Harry and Meghan in a cocoon, right? And a good reason that they can't say, oh my God, they're not around London. They don't like London because you guys took my security away. I think the UK media is going to be so mad and do a backlash and start ripping Will and Kate apart. Not because they feel anything against them, but because you know how it is with the Viper. When there's nothing to eat, they turn on themselves. Keep an eye on this over the next 2 and 3 months after Harry and Meghan leave, right? And the only people they're looking at is Camilla, Charles, Kate, William, and of course the Queen, right? Watch how much things clear, and watch how much we'll start seeing more and more about their wedding cracks, their cracks in their marriage. Why is that? Well, because of Charles, of course. Charles is not going to sacrifice him and Camilla. He just spent 50 years rebuilding the reputation. And as we saw with William's very rudimentary attacks to take his father down, that stupid poll, releasing stuff. We're doing things the Cambridge way, and we're going to dismantle all the Duchy of Cornwall, is it? The Duchy of Cornwall when we take over. You're no match for Charles. You can say what you want about Charles. Charles is not new to this. He's true to this. William's the one that is literally surrounded by Tories not knowing what's going on. Now, again, the royals also shot themselves in the foot because you realize that doesn't stop them from doing anything, right? You realize that they can invite people from their favorite charities. They can invite people they made friends with. They can invite big people over to their cottage to come meet. They can invite them to their cottage to come meet. They can film in their cottage. They can love in their cottage. They can do whatever they want at Frogmore, and the royals can't do anything. The only thing I will say is I hope they sweep for bugs, because baby, you know, they probably have that whole place. I hope they have bugs, sensors, everything, because they probably have listening devices through that whole place. But Harry and Meghan have good security, so I'm sure they will do that. But honestly, can you imagine all the people they connected with, all the people they hosted, everyone inviting them to Frogmore Cottage for a private a thing? The royals can't do anything. The UK media can't make money out of it. And Netflix says fine, and if the US does, fine. But that's super funny. Now, I will say the last funny thing. I do think that Lilibet will probably be christened this week in the UK, and I think that's why the Queen dropped out of the Derby. I think it'll be her first birthday party, but I also think she actually is going to be baptized. Can you imagine how mad they'll be to see pictures maybe a year or two later, because the Sussex are very good at keeping things quiet, but to see pictures a year or two later of the Queen Elizabeth baptizing her namesake, you guys. And that's not a cue. I don't know what is. Anyway, you guys, we are on Sussex Watch. That is what's going on. Prepare for the media backlash, because the Sussex, I believe, are not going to allow that much access to them. The royals think they outsmarted them, but they, once again, don't understand the game. Harry and Meghan don't have to go and open a Tesco's to get attention. They just have to have company over to their house, which will have the Met Police and all the other special protections afforded someone who was born into something and whose threat risk is a lot, and who was asked personally by invitation to come over by the Queen of England. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will be back. Don't forget, we are having wall-to-wall Jubilee coverage. I'm going to try to do a story a day, keeping you guys updated, and if things really pop off, we're going 2 or 3 stories. We're going to ride this till the wheels come off. Sussex Squad, stand up. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.